Hello Virgo, welcome back. Welcome to my channel if you're new. I would like to thank everyone for viewing, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And thank you to everyone who has been donating to my channel. I truly appreciate it. You have no idea. And you know who you are. So thank you. Thank you to everybody for all the support you give my channel. I really appreciate it. I want to get into this reading here because we're coming up on the full moon in our sign in Virgo, and with everything that's been going on and taking place lately as far as this big shift goes, and people not having money and having to sell things and thinking they're going to be homeless, I want to see what this full moon is going to bring Virgo. Because, like I said, it's a full moon in Virgo. Now, before we get started, we are going to use the Moonology deck and the Moonology Manifestation deck, as well as the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck, and then we'll get into some other decks for clarifying. But I want to thank Yasmin Boland because these are her decks. And all the information that I get around the lunar timelines and readings that I do for you guys come from her Moonology diary, which, down below, as usual, all the decks that I use and the Moonology diary will be listed down below in my description box if you're looking for them. But with this full moon in Virgo, Yasmin feels that we need to expect this to be an extremely powerful full moon, because it's taking place just as the planet of hard work and hard facts, which is Saturn, finally changes signs and it moves from Aquarius into Pisces. Saturn isn't to be feared because it's powerful, but Saturn makes us stronger and more resilient. However, its sojourn once every 30 years through the sign of Aquarius coincided with the pandemic years that we've all just lived through. That cycle officially ends now, everyone. And hopefully the last vestiges of the pandemic do too. The full moon is in the sign of Virgo, as we've already talked about, and that is considered the sign associated with alternative health. So think about what lessons you've learned about your health and about alternative health treatments in the past few years, and think about how you could look after yourself better now and into the future. Now, there could be some confusion in the air this week as the full moon takes place, because Mars and Neptune are clashing, and you may find that you're not exactly sure where you need to put your energy at this point in time. I know that's where I'm at. So if that's how you're feeling, here's a few ideas to help. Based on the overall energies, make space in your home by decluttering. And that has been a big message for me anyways, which means for all of you, Virgo, to declutter and organize. And that's, I have no idea why I'm selling all my stuff. I just know that I need to sell it. So this is what I'm doing. Consider doing some volunteer work of some kind, because it's a great way for you to meet people with similar values while you can help others. Sort out an upset with a friend. Make a plan to eat more healthily and stick to it. Because I know I have had that plan, I don't know how many times in the last few weeks, and I don't stick to it. You can write up ideas for morning and evening routines, balance your finances, meditate daily, clean out your fridge. Who doesn't need to do that? So it may feel counterintuitive to make a plan at the full moon, because usually we begin things at a new moon, but all the energies this month really do add up to one thing. It is an ideal time to decide what in your life you need to release and make space for your spiritual pursuits. So make a plan for what you'd like to do spiritually in the coming 2 years, because that's approximately how long plan-loving Saturn will be in the spiritual sign of Pisces. The energy of the Virgo full moon is also perfect for careful, long-range planning. So have at her, Virgo. I'm a little nervous about what's heading in our direction. It feels very weighty, if you know what I mean. Whatever it is that's headed our way, it's weighty. It's got some spirit. Spirit can be really funny. Spirit says it's got some balls to it, but that's not how I speak. But I thought you'd be interested in hearing what Spirit had to say. But anyways, it feels like it's something very weighty. I don't know how to say that so you can hear it properly. It's got weight behind it. Whatever this is that's coming at us, it's this big shift. It still is this big damn shift that's been making its way to us for months. And the closer it gets, the more in tune I get to the energies of it. And it's starting to make me a little nervous because the things that are happening in my world, they're big. They're not big in a good way, you know? And I know from experience, when we start to feel like everything's falling apart in our life, it's actually falling into place. You know how you can hear that sometimes around a tower moment where it literally turns your world upside down and it feels like it's ripping your world apart? But in actuality, what it's doing is, yes, it is ripping your world apart, but it's doing it so that the right things can fall into place at the right time. It's change. We go through change our entire lives, and this is no different than any other change we go through, except this one, God, it feels like it's got so much weight behind it, everybody. And I'm not trying to scare anyone. Just know that whatever this is, whatever it takes away from you, it's bringing something bigger. So with the weight that I'm feeling, it might be, for me, it's huge. I don't want to get into it right now because I just don't want to go down that negative road. But it's. Let me put it this way: everything that has been a constant in my world for the last few years is being removed, and I feel like I'm coming to a place where I'm left with nothing but what really matters. And what I mean by that is, I think the universe is trying to teach us to only deal with, work on, look at, focus on what really matters. And what really matters, when you get down to it, in my world, what really matters to me is my fur babies and my family. And I say my fur babies first because they're the ones that live with me, and they're the ones that are counting on me to make sure they have food and warmth and a roof over their head. And this is, oh wow. I don't know if you heard that. You might have seen it. This over here. I took a trip to Mexico quite a few years ago, and Tijuana. I went into Tijuana. Oh, I went to the States, and then I took a trip down into Tijuana. And my mom asked me, when she found out I was going there, she said, "Can you get me one of those great big blown glass ships and bring it back for me?" That damn thing rode on my lap all the way back, on the plane, on a bus from Tijuana back to the States, on the plane back to Canada. It rode on my lap. And it was one of those, those great big blown glass ships. This is the anchor off of that ship, because over the years, the ship got smashed, and this is all that's left. So this is my mama. I bring my mama into my readings with me by always having her anchor on my table. And if you noticed, when I was talking about everything that's falling away, that slid off my little, I don't even know what to call that right now. You know what I'm saying. it just slid off. So, and I do know my mom is with me today. She already gave me her sign this morning. But anyway, everything is being ripped away from me right now. And I mean everything. Everything. So to say I'm a little bit nervous is, yeah, that's the least. Anyways, I'm hanging on to the fact that I know that because everything is being taken away, it's so that the universe can bring something bigger and better and something new. And it's going to be something that makes me happier. It's going to be something that makes me even more successful. And I just got to get through this between worlds place where I am, where I'm no longer in this world, and I know everything from this world is going to have to be left behind, and I've got nothing moving forward. I don't know what I'm stepping into, where I need to step. I don't know any of it. Some of you may be in the same situation, so I was really hoping that getting into this full moon in Virgo reading was going to help all of us figure out what in the hell is happening and what direction we're headed in. So let's get to it. We're going to start with these cards over here. Moonology deck is full moon in Virgo, and oh, I forgot to grab the other one. And it says, you are good enough. We are good enough, Virgo. In fact, we're better than that. We're at the top of the stairs. However you want to word that. We're up here. We're not down here, Virgo. Now this is Moonology Manifestation deck, and full moon in Virgo, it says take inspired action. Let's get going. No, we're not doing this deck yet. Okay. I'm good with that. Give me a second. I need to get a deck here. I need to get you guys Power of Surrender card. I forgot to pull out the Moonology card that's just strictly the full moon card. So Spirit wants me to give you a Power of Surrender card in place of it. So that's what we're going to do. Because I think the full moon card, it just says surrender to the divine. So it's kind of apropos that Spirit would want Power of Surrender card in place of it. I like that. So that's what we're going to do. Wow. This really fits with what's been going on lately. Surrender to setting limits. It says, it's healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Interesting. Surrender to setting limits. So it's time to start setting boundaries, and it's time to say no. When you don't want to do something that somebody else wants you to do, you don't need to do it just because they want you to, okay? You already know that though, Virgo. I know you do. Okay, are we ready now to get into the regular deck? Yes, we are. Okay. Okay, first card out. Ooh, big surprise. Action. Big surprise. We've got take inspired action here. Because of placements around this timeline, we are being guided to, even though it is a full moon and we don't begin things on full moons, we do it on new moons, we're being guided with that to take action and move forward too. So this is interesting. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay. Next card out. Wow. Trust. I'm in a place where I have no choice but to trust. or I will lose my you know what. And if you all are in the same place, sorry guys, I have to get a drink. I'm so dry. You have no choice but to trust at this point too. Next card out. And I gotta get this so that I can fit all of them here and you can see them. There. Third card out. Ooh, abundance. Abundance. This is a future timeline because it's the Hunter Moon, and the Hunter Moon takes place in the fall. I don't remember if it's September or October, but I think it's the full moon in October. So that's a ways from now. The abundance. October. Okay, final card. This card, I've had this deck for I don't know how long. I've been using it for a long time. This card has never come out. Self-love. You know, I can see that around this full moon because of, okay, there's the anchor again. I can see that because of what I'm going through. It is definitely going to be a full moon that talks about and teaches self-love. Absolutely. Something that I'm going through is with my channel, my YouTube channel, this channel that we're on right now. It's so screwy. I'm hemorrhaging subscribers. And I used to gain about 1,500 to 2,000 subscribers a month, give or take. And you know, there's always that ebb and flow. But I have been losing subscribers. It's like they hit a switch and said, okay, let's start taking subscribers out of this channel, because that's just every day I go on and I'm several, 10, 20, 30, 50 subscribers down from where I was the night before. Anyways, it was driving me crazy. And I came to a place just today, as a matter of fact, where I've decided, screw it. I don't care what's happening with the subscribers. It's not about the subscribers. I have always said that. I said that until I reached 100,000, and it seemed like it was about the subscribers, and maybe that's why they started dropping off. I don't know. But I'm at a point now where it's like, I don't care. I have viewers. I have amazing viewers. I have subscribers that are loyal to me. They watch my videos regularly. Their comments, your guys' comments, they're the best. I've never had such amazing, beautiful comments from viewers before. So I'm happy with that. And I was trying to change things on my channel, the way I did readings. Is it the titles? I was just going crazy trying to figure out how I could turn things around. You know what? I don't care anymore. I've got nothing to lose. Because I'm at a point now where, with the viewers that I've got, no offense to you guys, I'm grateful for you guys, don't get me wrong, but there's something going on in the background that isn't pushing me forward so I get more views, and that's costing me in ad money. I'm not making enough on this channel to pay my bills or make a living even anymore, so this channel cannot be what I do for a living, which means I will be doing other things. This is going to be a side hustle. There's probably going to be less videos being put up, but I don't care. I decided I don't care. I want to put my videos out. It's not going to be about the money anymore. It's not about the subscriptions. Good. Maybe now I can have some fun. Now it'll probably take off. Okay, let's get some timing here on these cards. Okay, let's see here. The first card is going to, the first place card here is the self-love card, because this is a waxing crescent 4 moon, and the waxing crescent 4 takes place on March 27th. And we're gonna get cards to find out what's taking place in that timeline. Okay. Now the card that comes after that is action, because this is a waxing gibbous 6 moon, and the waxing gibbous 6 moon takes place on April 4th. So whatever it is, we're going to be called to action right around April 4th, give or take time-wise, okay? Because you already know this, timing is not a given. It's not a match to the timing on the other side, okay? So give or take, like I said, it's going to be close. So the next card in order is trust, because this is the egg moon, and the egg moon takes place April 5th. It's a spring full moon, hence egg moon. April 5th. You're coming out of some kind of cocoon. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know that, we've been through standstills. We've been through feeling like we're spinning our wheels. We're being held back. I'm still feeling that. Like I said to you, with the ads that I'm putting up to sell things, I used to be able to put up ads, and like that, people would respond, more than one person, and whatever it was that I was selling was gone. It's like pulling teeth, getting things to sell, and I don't understand, other than maybe I didn't do it at the right time. So anyways, I feel like this picture here, if you look at that person, they're in a cocoon of some kind. And I know that winter, if you've been watching, you might not, I think I only put this on my Chosen Ones channel. I got a message for the Chosen Ones about winter being a gestation period for us. Now, that's not necessarily just for Chosen Ones, because I feel it with Virgos. So if not all of my Virgos are on my Chosen Ones channel, then I will link that at the end of this video, the gestation, because that's what the message was. Winter was a gestation period for us. In other words, growth. We're ascending, we're growing, we're changing, we're evolving. And then we go into a cocoon phase where we're resting, we're healing, we're recovering from that, okay? So just trust that whatever's taking place right now that you feel held back, if that's how you feel, you're in a cocoon, you need to be there. It's not time. It's not time to do anything just yet, okay? Although you are getting the action card here, but keep in mind the action card, the timing of that is 1 day before this, right? So they should be switched, but maybe you need to take action before you can come out, before you can come out of this cocoon. Maybe it takes some action to get out of the cocoon, because that's something else that has been coming to me message-wise lately too, that I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to have the manifestations that I want to have until I take action. But it's not necessarily my taking action when I take action. It's when I'm being guided to take action. That definitely was a message for me right there. I don't know about the rest of you, but I was asking that question just before I started this video. Interesting. Okay, card number 4 is the abundance card. This is the Hunter Moon. And like I said, this is October, the October full moon. So the beginning of October, okay? Now, does that mean that we have to wait until the beginning of October for all the manifestations? Well, let's get more cards and find out, but I'm going to say no. This is going to be, I feel like it's going to be a very pertinent timeline for abundance. Now, my understanding is when we come out of this cocoon, from this gestation period, because of what took place growth-wise from the 2nd of February to the 22nd of February, and that again is in my Chosen Ones, my understanding is that when we come out of this cocoon phase, if that's what you want to call it, we're going to start reaping the rewards from all the work we've done, the suffering, all of it. But you need to understand this is a really, really big time that's coming through. And we're going to manifest either one large dream piece or several smaller ones. But it's going to take place over the year. So this abundance here with the full moon in October, this is just another happening of abundance. But for some reason, it's being pointed out today with the Virgo full moon reading. And I'm hoping that the cards that come out underneath them give us the answers. So what deck are we going to use here? Back and forth between two decks. What deck do I need to use? This one. Thank you. Okay, this is Gaia Oracle. I think we're doing something different, but I'm not sure yet, though. Feels okay. Let me see. We'll go a little further and see what happens. Okay, so on self-love and action, we have Flame Tree. This is the start of something new. Now again, because of where it sits, this is somewhere between March 27th and April 4th. Something new comes in. It's because it got something to do with self-love. Okay. This is why it felt so weird. Okay. This is why I couldn't understand what was going on. I kept getting two decks. They kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm going to be going back and forth with these two decks, which this is not anything I've ever done before in any of my readings. So it's kind of new. I'm happy. I'm good with it. I'm doing whatever happens. Going with the flow. We're going to clarify the self-love card. That's what we're doing here. Because there's a message there for us. Seven of Pentacles. This is the growth. There's something about the self-love that's taking place here. It's all the work that we've been doing. See down here, this is all the work. This is the foundation. We have been, okay, wow. You know, ask and you shall receive. I asked why. Why is everything moving so slowly? I keep seeing 11:22 on the clock. I see it everywhere the last week or two. And 11:22 is my clear sign from my guides that the energy is going to pick up and start to move at twice the speed. But I've been getting that message for a couple of weeks now, and usually it's like this. When it says 11:22, it's within days that I start to feel the energy speed up. And it's not just the energy feeling. It is, everything is moving quicker. You know, like me placing those ads to sell things. That will start moving really fast all of a sudden. That's what I'm talking about. Everything's going to start taking place. Guys, I just realized, I'm sorry, I didn't have my mic on. I hope you could hear everything I was saying. Otherwise, I just wasted a whole bunch of time. I am so sorry. I will turn the volume way up the first part of the video, and hopefully you can hear it. Okay, to keep moving on here. Spirit is now telling me that things were slowed down and held back because, and this isn't just over the last couple of weeks or couple of months, this is over, for me, things have moved really slowly for the last year. So this was to build a foundation and to get grounded in that foundation. It's a grounding foundation, if you will. So that when the growth comes in and starts taking place, we can jump into action. Because while we were going through this kind of growth here, this grounding foundation, the building of it, the creating of it, we couldn't step into action. This took it all out of us. Were you exhausted? Have you been really tired over the last few weeks, months, or the last year? I know I have been. That's why. This is a lot of work right here. Look at all the root system and the pentacles down here, as opposed to the tiny little growth above ground. So this took place. This was very slow growing, but it is going to start picking up, and the pace is going to speed up for us. Okay, so the start of something new, that's coming out of getting to that place of this whole grounding foundation. The building of this grounding foundation was for the self-love. It was for us to gain self-love. So when you get to that place where you're ready, the self-love is where it needs to be, and you're ready to take action because the foundation has been built and it's solid and it's sturdy, you will be able to take action and start something new. Okay? It's going to be different for everybody. I don't know what that is. Only you will know when it takes place. I know I do have something new coming through for me also. I have no clue what it is yet, but I know that will come through. Another one of the messages that keeps coming through is we are going to get to the 11th hour, which is last minute. And then it's going to come through for us, okay? So on action and trust, we have amethyst, transformation, certainty, and confidence. When you come out of this cocoon, and this is around April 5th, okay, you're going to take action in some direction. And I think that's what's going to pull you out of the cocoon. When you come out of that cocoon, you are going to come out with a lot more confidence. You're going to be certain. You're going to know. You know what I mean? We just talked about taking action, but not knowing what direction or what we're needing to do yet. You're going to know. When you come out of this cocoon, you are going to know. But you are going to have to start taking action. So what this feels like to me is you are going to take action. It's going to be part of the transformation that we all have been going through for the last while, okay? You're going to be needing to take action of some kind. I don't know what that is. You're not going to know what it is until the time comes that you get nudged to take action. Once you start to take action, that's when everything seems to start moving forward. And that has been a message from me lately too, that I'm not going to move forward. I'm not going to have success in anything until I do take action. But the frustrating part of that, as you can all imagine for everybody, for all of us, is that we know we're going to need to take action. We know we can't be successful until we do, but we're being held back from taking action. It's just slow down. It's all Spirit is asking us to do, is just slow down. Yes, you are ready for this. That's a given. That's why we feel like we're spinning our wheels, because we are ready to take action, but we're being held back. It's not the right time. Not yet. Now on the trust card and the abundance card, and this will be why, because we've got a hidden path. The marriage of spirit and matter. This is something that we all need to get a grip with. We need to make best friends with this marriage, if you will. We need to become best friends with the marriage of spirit and matter, because those two need to work hand in hand for us to move into this abundant stage here. Now keep in mind, this is in October, but I can tell you right now from the messages that have been coming through for me and how I've been feeling lately, we do not have to wait until October. We're not going to be dead broke till October and then all of a sudden, right? No, things are going to take place before that. This is going to be, I think this is going to be a really big one, to be honest. And here comes another card on abundance. Eight of Swords. I need another card. Temperance. Okay. This is what I was afraid of. One more? Yep. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Here's the message, okay? We do not have to wait until October for our abundance. But what Spirit is trying to say here is, yes, you're ready. You know you're ready. You feel ready. You're tired of being tired. You're tired of being held back, slowed down, whatever. You've got to move the way you're guided to move. And right now, we're not being guided to move at all. We're living our lives. You know, I'm still creating videos. It's not that I have to, stop doing everything, just sit on the couch all day. You still have to live your life. You still do the day-to-day things. But as far as your future goes, as far as manifesting goes, we need to hold back. We need to slow down. It's not the right time. That's Temperance. That's the card that talks all about patience. And patience for us is slow down. It's not the right time. Stop fearing the outcome of this. Trust. We've got that right here. Right? So this is connected to the abundance card with the hidden path card. There is something that we're not certain of yet. We can't see it. There's something that we can't see. It's hidden. But it has to do with a balance between spirit and matter. Does that make sense? Spirit is intuition. It's your inner guidance system, right? Matter is taking action. Matter is the material side of things. And what we're being guided with here is, rather than chase after it, when we chase after it like that, we wait and wait. And we might wait longer than we would normally have waited. So the abundance that is ready to come in now, we could be waiting until October if we push it. Let go of the negative around this. It's the fear that's making you want to push forward and take action, and it's not going to get you any further. It's going to put you backwards. It's going to put you back further than you would be if you just slowed down a little bit now. This Ace of Pentacles represents a ton of money, prosperity beyond. But again, look at the root system. It's about grounding. It's about foundation. It's about solid, making it solid. Okay? And maybe that's why I keep feeling this weightiness, this weight behind the big shift that's coming in. Not W-A-I-T, W-E-I-G-H-T, the weight of it. It's heavy. It's big. Because it's solid. Solid. That's what we're creating, something solid. And that is what's going to bring us, now again, this is on the Chosen Ones channel, love, luck, and lasting prosperity. It's another video I created. And this is all about never having to worry about money again. It's about lasting prosperity. That's what this represents. If we can get past the fear of the timing, because like Spirit says, it's going to show up. The timing is the 11th hour, which means you're going to be right at the edge of no return. And you've got to control the fear around that and the negative emotion. Be strong. Trust. Trust. Because Spirit is going to bring what you need when you need it. No sooner and no later. The 11th hour. Look what you get. Prosperity beyond. And you get it ASAP. If you let go. ASAP. If you hang on to this and you keep pushing to try and get somewhere that you think you need to be, you're looking at October before it comes in for you. I don't think you want to wait till October. I know I don't. Something new is coming, but you've got to go through the transformation. You have to do that. And when the timing is right to take action, that's when you can come out of your cocoon. You will know what you need to know. You will allow your intuitive guidance system to move you in the right direction, and that will take you to this lasting prosperity, and you don't have to wait until October. This is the Light Seers deck. This is the Light Seers holographic version. Okay, so on the flame tree, which is the start of something new, and amethyst, which is transformation, certainty, and confidence. You have it twice now. You have the Eight of Swords again. When this something new comes in, it brings with it certainty and confidence. So you won't need to fear. So I don't think you need to let go of all of the fear. That's an impossibility. If you're in a position where you don't have enough money to pay rent or your bills or your car payment or, whatever this is for you, if it's that scary, trying to stay positive till the very last minute, it's not going to be easy. That's almost impossible. So I feel like a little bit of fear is not going to delay things, because that's a given. To be in that situation, it's human nature to fear. Okay? But let go of that big knot that you've got in your stomach. Try to work through this fear. Try to, a good way to do that is to look forward to what you're wanting to manifest, the life you want to live. What does it look like? Think about it. Dream about it. Know that it's coming to you. It's just a timing thing. Spirit is lining everything up in the background, getting it all ready to come to you. You just have to hold on. They're going to make sure it gets to you in time, but it's not going to get to you until the very last minute, the 11th hour. So now on amethyst, which is transformation, certainty, and confidence, and on the hidden path, which is the marriage of spirit and matter, you have the Page of Cups. The impossible becomes possible. This is, see this, here's the other thing. This is a message that's been coming through for me for, weeks now. Things are going to turn around. There's going to be a turnaround, a big, big turnaround. Okay. This is giving me that same message because this is coming around. It's turning around. It's turning. It's going around. It's coming back to the bottom of the card here. But up here, we've got this little pig with wings. And you know what the saying is? When pigs fly, which means, yeah, that's never going to happen. But that is what Spirit's saying to you. The impossible is becoming possible. When you can find your balance within that, the hidden path will appear. And that's when you realize that the impossible is possible. That was off the wrong deck. It was supposed to be this deck. Wow. Well, this is not much different. The Ace of Wands. This is all about following your passion. It's about knowing what you want and going after it. But she's also, look at her. She's intuiting her manifestations. Right? So, look at that. We got 2 cards here. I love that. That was meant to happen. I love it when things like that happen because it's just pure guidance. That's what that comes down to. I love that. Thank you, Spirit. I love that. Okay, bottom of this deck, part of your overall energy is the Strength card. Absolutely. You're being asked to have more strength than you have ever had in your life. And this is one of the things that was making me a little nervous, what I was talking about in the beginning of the reading, which you maybe didn't hear because of where the mic was. So I'm going to repeat it. I'm a little nervous about the situation I find myself in, and I think the rest of you, or a lot of you, might be in the same type of situation. And it was because the weight of what is headed for us feels very solid and very, it's weighty, it's heavy, it's just big. It's really big. And I got a clear sign before I started this reading that I was about Virgo and me, and I'll tell you why. Virgo is about to fight the fight of their life. And I know we're capable of it. It's just, that sounds like a whole lot of work to me. And I just feel like I'm coming out of a whole lot of work. I'm exhausted. But if that's the case, that's why we're being held back. It's why we're in this cocoon. It's why we have to rejuvenate. It's why we have to recharge and recover from what we've been going through up to this point. Because we are about to fight the fight of our life. And I'll tell you why I think that that is true. Because before I came in here, I was guided to a video on YouTube. And that was the title. Virgo, you're about to fight it's something like that. It's the fight. This is the fight of your life, or something like that. And then my son said, right after I saw that, I didn't even get a chance to watch the whole video. I paused it. I wanted to watch it, but I paused it because I really wanted to do this reading tonight. And it's getting late. But then right after I paused it, I came in here and I sat down, started to get ready for the reading. My son sent me a text, a link in the text. Was this, we're both drummers, my son and I. And it was this link to this crazy drummer on YouTube. And guess what song he's playing? He's playing to Maniac. And I didn't even remember or realize that, I probably just didn't remember because I loved that song when it first came out. But it's about, she's a maniac. And there's actually lyrics that say she's fighting for her life, or she's fighting the fight of her life, or something like that. And I just about fell out of my chair because I had just come across that video. So when that kind of thing happens for me, I know that that's a sign. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, Virgo, but I think we are about to come up against the fight of our life. And if you're like me and you've been, working your butt off for the last few months or the last year, it's not a physical work. It's a spiritual, an emotional, and a mental kind of thing. I'm just exhausted. So I don't like the sound of that. I really don't like the sound of that. But the rewards are going to be there. The reward is lasting prosperity. Now, the bottom of the other deck that I used here for clarifying and for this accidental on purpose card is the World. And that's perfect. You're going to have the world by the tail. You're going to have the world in your hands. You are closing out one cycle, one really big cycle, and opening another. And you're going to need to have the strength to do it and the courage to move in that direction. When you're guided to take action, that guidance to take action might be the fight of our life. Because it's something, it feels to me like it's something that, as I like to say, it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. It's not going to look like something we're going to want to do. I think it's something that we need to do. And it's the start of something new. It does bring about the start of something new. And it also brings clarity and certainty and our transformation and a marriage for us, between us spiritually and matter. So it's melding, if you will, or fusing the 3D with the 5D and finding that happy balance. This was a lot of work, especially since the mic wasn't where it needed to be in the beginning, but I'm still hoping that it's going to be heard. But if not, I took care of it. Okay. I want to get a Sacred Destiny card. And my goodness, this is over an hour long. I am so sorry it took so long. There was just so much that came through that I needed to get across to you. And it might not be an hour long. If it's not an hour long for you all, then you know that I had to cut off the first part because there was nothing that could be saved. Anyways, we're going to get a Sacred Destiny card, and then I'm going to put a bow on this and shut it down. Oh, this does not surprise me. Enlightenment. You guys, if you have not watched the videos on my Chosen Ones channel, Virgo, I highly recommend that you do, because they're so connected. You know, this is a card that came out for one of the readings, one of the most recent readings on that channel too. Okay. Enlightenment. Obviously, I'm reading it from the book for you. The sacred landscape wants you to know this. Enlightenment occurs when one steps out of the confines of an ordinary definition of self and expands into a greater awareness of the self within the universe. You are now reaching into the invisible realm of spirit and connecting with what you cannot see. Forces beneath the surface are supporting you on your journey. Have faith in yourself. You are so much more than you believe yourself to be. Have patience. We know that, right? That there is a plan unfolding, and there is a plan unfolding, Virgo. That's why we're being held back. It's not ready for us. We're ready for it, but it's not ready for us yet. The sky is the limit. This card represents enlightenment and signals that you are entering into a time of expansive transformation in a luminous and remarkable way. Trust that the changes ahead are for the greater good, for most certainly they are. Wow. That could not have been a better card for this reading. And thank you, Spirit, for that message. We are ready for this transformation to take place. It's not ready for us. And that's why we're being held back. It's why we're being asked to slow down. I'm sorry, there is one more card. I need one more card. It's a Divine Doors card. I don't know why, but Spirit kept showing me this space here. There needs to be one card here to make this a pyramid to complete this spread. And they're right. Okay. So let's get a door. Let's see what Spirit wants us to know. Okay. A beautiful blue door. This is our door. Isn't that pretty? It's very plain, but it's very pretty. Okay, message. Secret sketches. Wander and seek the familiar and friendly kind. Draw memories in sketches for others to find. I don't know if that means anything to any of you. So get out there and meet up with your soul family. You're needing people around you now. And drawing memories and sketches for others to find. You know, something that I keep coming across on my walks is stones that people have painted messages on, and then they just take it back out to nature and set it down on the ground. And so while I'm on my walk, it's kind of neat because I look down and there's a stone and it says self-love, or it says I love you, or you know, you are good enough, or something like that. So maybe that's what Spirit's asking us to do. Just to bring a smile to somebody's face when they're on a walk and they see whatever it is that you've left behind. I just needed a drink. This reading took it out of me. I gotta tell you, it's a biggie. And being the full moon in Virgo, it doesn't surprise me. Get ready, Virgo. Get yourself rested. I don't think it's going to be long before we find ourselves in the fight of our life. I think that might be the title of this video. Okay, Virgos, I'm going to let you go now because it is almost bedtime here. So I hope this resonates. I hope it helps you all. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.